Today I will show you 3 different types of slap house producers, so you can see what this producer do right or wrong and learn with them. Let's start with the drums and FX. The NOOB drums are always too loud, there's no groove and it's really repetitive. The Pro use a lot of FX to make the drop more interesting and unique. The Lazy always use a bunch of loops, especially in the drums. Now let's see the different types of bass and how they create and mix them. The NOOB usually use the factory presets, and the bass line is always simple. The processing is basically side A chain, EQ boosting the mid, and of course the sound goodizer. The Pro always use high-quality presets, and he stacks the layers to make the drop fuller. In the Pro we also have this lead. In the processing, he uses a lot of plugins, like EQ, distortion, compressor and many more. The lazy bass line is just a loop. The processing is basically side A chain. Now, we will see how they create the build-up. Let's listen and see how they process the vocals.
Fix all those lies. I
The vocal processing is just EQ and reverb. In the processing we have the EQ removing the noise frequencies. Reverb using the patcher. Some boost in the mids. Compression and sidechain. In the lazy we have different presets for the vocal. And finally, we will see which plugins this producer's used in the master. In the mastering, we have this EQ boosting the high, and of course to sound more punch, he uses a lot of sound goodizer. The pro mastering, we have the EQ, stereo imager, endless smile in the build-up, multiband compressor, compressor and limiter. And the lazy, he just uses the master assistant of the Ozone 9. If you want the same presets and samples that I used to make this video, check it out my Slap House sample pack. This pack includes a lot of presets for Serum, Synth 1, 250 samples and 5 project files. Link in the description. By the way, I created a new Instagram, and I will constantly post some productions tips that will help you. So make sure to follow me there. Before we see the final result, don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe.
Always made me feel like I would never change.